So you want to leverage your existing business to create a bigger positive impact on the world. And that's awesome. This former nonprofit grant writer employee solidly commends you for that. And so the first step to that is identifying your values or grounding yourself in your values so that you can find a cause to support that really reflects those. And this is win-win, right? Because you're able to do something that is meaningful for you and your business, and your audience is able to see that. And they're able to say, hey, I'm really aligned with this business. This is the business I want to work with. And you're able to attract people who have the same values as you, or at the very least, who really respect your values. The next step is figuring out how you want to give back. So that may be donations, it may be volunteerism. There's any number of ways to do that. And then the next piece of this is identifying or maybe reevaluating a cause that you want to support. Who's going to be the recipient of all this love, right? And again, as a former nonprofit professional, I want to walk you through some pieces of this that you may not know about, just to help you understand a little bit more about how this works. So before I jump into that, do a little bit of introspection here. Think about the non-negotiables that you have when it comes to finding a cause to support. So maybe you're looking for a cause that has volunteer opportunities because you really want to get involved in a personal way. Maybe you're looking for a cause that has objectives that are really easy to measure. So you can say, hey, we donated $1,000 last month, and here's what that $1,000 went to. This is their objectives, and these are their outcomes. Maybe you're looking for an organization that is global in reach because your company is global, and that's one of your values, is supporting people from around the world. I know that for me, one of my non-negotiables is finding a nonprofit that is well managed. I'm going to talk a little bit more about what that means. But as you pull together your list of non-negotiables, this will really help you get focused. Not only do they need to share your values and have the giving back opportunities that you're looking for, but they need to share and make sure that they tick all the boxes for all of those non-negotiables too. And if it feels like you're being very choosy and maybe this is a little unfair on the nonprofit, don't worry. There's so many worthy organizations out there. And sometimes it's just a matter of continuing to dig a little bit, asking around and seeing what you can find. So let's talk about non-negotiables. So first thing I'm going to do is share my screen with you. I'm going to be highlighting an organization that is a recipient of a lot of great support. This is an organization that we have actually supported. They've been clients of ours for a number of years. So if you go to guidestar.org, just here, you can create a free account. And this will allow you to take a look at nonprofits, largely in the US. There may be a database for your country if you are looking somewhere else. But you can take a look here at the organization. Go ahead and type in the name. You can even search for one if you don't have a name that you're looking for. And then from there, you can click Show Forms 990. It's going to give you some options for the most recent years. So I would go ahead and pick the most recent one. And then from there, you're going to get a really fancy tax form. But this form is really full of information that can be helpful for you to see what is the health of the organization. So one of the first things you can do is look over time. And again, you can look back at several different years to see what the trends are. Do they have relatively steady or possibly growing contributions and grants? This is essentially the revenue line item for a nonprofit. So how much is coming in to the organization? If it's steady to growing over a period of time, then that's probably a good indicator of positive health for that organization. Now, other things you can do is take a look at the salaries line item. This is important to look at because a lot of people are afraid that they want the maximum amount of money to go to the cause. And then the staff kind of gets left by the wayside. And so what donors often don't realize is that salaries, especially for the staff that aren't directly involved in a project or its execution, those salaries are under these operational expenses buckets. It doesn't mean they're not valid. This is where the executive leadership goes. This is where the grant writers go. This is where the marketers go. All of those people who support the operations, the finances, and the continuation and growth and strategic leadership of an organization are under that area. And so what's really dangerous is choosing a nonprofit because they have really low salary amounts. At the end of the day, that's actually going to lead to an organization where the staff is experiencing burnout, where they can't really attract or keep top talent. So it's okay if there's a lot of money being allocated to salaries. That's my personal opinion. You won't always find that everywhere, but as somebody who, again, spent nearly a decade in one of these roles, I can assure you how important it is. There's a lot of information you can look through in here, and mostly what I want you to know is those are two metrics you can see, and then as you dig through, you'll be able to really see what's going on inside of an organization. But the average business owner doesn't know about Form 990s. And so I wanted to share that resource with you so that you know what to look for. You can start to evaluate an organization to see if they're maybe a good fit for you and if they're a healthy organization when it comes to their finances and the way that they operate. So I encourage you to take a look at those. They don't necessarily need to be the only data points that you consider, those data points within the 990, but I do want you to be aware of them and to consider them as data points as you choose. So thank you so much. To recap here, what you need to be looking for is an organization that stands up to all of your non-negotiables and an organization that really does have strength and is growing over time. Thanks so much.